Facebook has recently rolled out its new organ donor feature. The new facet of the popular social media site enables users to add a tab to their timeline stating that they are an organ donor. After enjoying huge success in the United Kingdom and the US, Facebook and the Organ Donor Authority of Australia hope that donors increase as a result of the initiative. In California alone, donations rose 800% since Facebook released the feature. Australia leads the world in transplant success, yet has the lowest number of donors worldwide. Steve Shelley knows firsthand just how hard it can be waiting for a transplant.
Probably, I think it was when I was 21 I started going blind, and then I had sort of impaired vision sort of drastically in my left eye, and I think I was 29 by the time I had the first donor, and I was on the donor list from when I was about 26, so I probably waited about 3 years. And then it got quite desperate in that I was just couldn't really see out of that eye at all. I could just see light and dark, and then you basically just get a call in the morning and say, "Can you come in?" And so yeah. The second one, I started to go a few years later. So they go. So I think that went probably when I was about 35. It started to deteriorate suddenly, and then so it was probably when I was close to 40 that I had the transplant there. So so that's 12 years ago now. Yeah.
Mr. Shelley thinks that Facebook's new feature can do a lot of good, bringing organ donation to the forefront of people's awareness.
The people you talk to who, about organ donation, basically normally aren't really aware of it. It's not something that's front of their mind. So I think if it was in Facebook, which is in front of 90% of people, it would become more acceptable to talk about it more openly, and people become more aware of your views if, say, you published on Facebook saying, yeah, I'd be prepared to be an organ donor, then, because it seems like individuals don't necessarily tell their family what they want, because it's, no one wants to talk about death. So it's just like one of those subjects. Someone in my family, everybody knows that, if I die, someone can have all of my body because, I've been through it. But I can see most people don't bother talking about it. And so Facebook, to put it out there in a public forum, I think would make it not only easier for the donor, but easier for the families who, after they die, have to make that decision, because it's quite clear that that's what the person wants.
Social media expert and chief editor of socialmedianews.com.au, David Cowling, makes a living off monitoring Facebook and other forms of social media.
Yeah, I think with the driver's licences, it's not something we really share with our friends and our family. It's sort of on the driver's licence for a rainy day that will maybe never happen. Having this option on Facebook really sort of does bring you and your friends together in a community way. Let's help others, if something happens, let's donate our organs. So it's a much more social way, and you got your peer group around you also saying, yes, organ donation's a good idea.
Mr. Cowling thinks that Australia will see a huge increase in organ donations following in the footsteps of America and the UK.
I think in Australia we're going to see a similar impact to the US and the UK, mainly because we're such a social bunch, we're so family and friend orientated. We're sharing a lot on Facebook already with some of the highest Facebook sharers in the world. We are a very sort of authentic country. We go out the way to help others. So I'm certain that a lot of Australians will take up the option and say yes. Like I said before, we're not going to see a huge amount of no's if someone doesn't want to be an organ donor.
Whilst many are excited by the potential of Facebook's new feature, 21-year-old student Stephanie Hall thinks that whilst organ donation is important, the new feature is just another way that Facebook is invading our privacy.
I won't be adding the donor feature to my Facebook because I think it's an invasion of privacy. I think it's not necessary to have it on a public forum like that. I think Facebook already has enough of people's information that's not necessary on there. Yeah, I think the feature will become a trend because it's just going to lose its value, and people are just going to do it to look cool and think they want to show off to their friends that they've got the donor feature on their Facebook when it's really not about that. It's about your personal decision, and there's more to it than just looking cool.